Hey guys, Prowl1701 here, and today we're doing our final video on the Each Doctor's Most Underrated Story. This has been a 3-video series I've been doing. We'll be looking at Doctors 10, 11, 12, and 13 here, and starting with the 10th Doctor, I'm going to, there's several of them that you could go to. I think Shakespearean Code and Planet of the Dead are both very underrated and very good stories, but I'm going to go with Gridlock. I like Gridlock a lot. Mainly for the emotional moments that are in it toward the end, but also I like the fact that it's got the actor that stars in My Hero in it. I like him a lot. He plays Brannigan, the cat guy, and it's hard to recognize him with the makeup, but his voice is very easy to recognize, very noticeable, distinctive. So it's nice to see him in that. I like that. I think it shows Martha to be strong-willed, and I like Martha a lot. I think she's a great companion. She's very strong-willed. She does a good job of keeping everything together as long as she can when her and the other two people are in the car or down on the bottom most of the episode. She does a good job there. And I like the fact she doesn't take any mess from the doctor right at the end. She just pulls up that chair and is like, "Nope, you're going to talk to me." I like that. So I think it really shows Martha in a good light. I like the fact the Macra are in it. It's nice to see the Macra come back, because that year was their 40th anniversary, so that was pretty nice to see. But it's really the ending scenes that sell it. Two of them in particular, right at the end. One with the face of Bo, as the face of Bo is dying. Because Tennant's really good at doing sad doctor. He does sad doctor. I mean, Tennant's just good in general, but his sad doctor is very moving. Because he can do so much with his face and his voice. So all the scenes when he's talking to the face of Bo, because this is also where Martha starts to learn about him being the only one of his people, and that all his people are dead. When the face of Bo's like, "I'm the last of my kind, just as you are the last of yours," and the doctor's like, "That's why we have to survive," yada yada. Please don't go. But I must. It's very touching, very moving. The face of Bo theme there is very, very nice. And then I really like that scene at the end when he's talking to Martha and he starts explaining to her about Gallifrey. "I lied to you because I liked it. And I could pretend just for a little while they were still alive." And he talks about Gallifrey, the way he describes it, that someone, think when you're thinking about a happy memory and you're kind of emboldening it, you're kind of embellishing it, and you're thinking, maybe it's an ex-girlfriend, maybe it's a parent or a grandparent that's no longer with you, or a friend who passed away. You're thinking about something from the past, and you get so happy when you talk about it, but there's a bit of sadness to it too, when he's talking about how beautiful Gallifrey was. It was beautiful. The sky was burnt orange, and right there, Citadel at the center, the Citadel of the Time Lords. All of that, and he talks about that, and then but then his face kind of drops and he gets sad when he does that. It's all gone now, my friends, my family, even that sky. Because Tennant, he does so much with just his face. He can convey emotion so well with just his face, and that his voice, the sadness in his voice, is just icing on the cake. His face sells it. And then when he's describing Gallifrey, the walk through the red grass, the leaves were silver, and when the light hit them, it would shine. And he talks about, the war with my race fought a race called the Daleks, and we lost. Everybody lost. It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful scene. I've literally sometimes watched through the episode just because I really want to watch that scene. It's a very underappreciated episode and really good. For the 11th Doctor, I'm going to give a quick shout out to The Beast Below, because I think that one's underrated. And I think, especially since it's Matt's second episode, it does a good job of showcasing him. It does a good job of showcasing Amy, too, and their relationship, especially at the end. And I love his line about nobody human has anything to say to me today, kind of showing that this doctor can have angry outbursts as well. So I want to give a quick shout to that, but I really want to talk about the Crimson Horror, because I love the Crimson Horror, and it doesn't get the attention it deserves. It's not a serious episode. It's just a fun episode. It's a filler fun episode. I mean, you have so much going on here. It's a nice in the past episode that's nice. You have Diana Rigg in it, which is nice to see. She seems to be having a great time with Mr. Sweet and just acting on the set. She seemed like she was happy to be there. Her daughter in it's really good, which I think is her real life daughter, does really good in it. And just some of the, I don't know. To me, this is one of those episodes where it just seems like everybody's having a good time. It's not essential Doctor Who, but it's just a fun romp, a fun filler episode. I love that bit when he's talking to her. I'm the Doctor, you're nuts, and I'm going to stop you. I love that. I'm the Doctor, you're nuts, and I'm going to stop you. That sums up the episode. It's just hilarious. And then that scene when Jenny is kind of stripping out of some of her outfits so she can fight better. And the Doctor's watching her, and he's holding his sonic screwdriver kind of like this. And as he's watching her, the screwdriver goes. And then he looks at it, he's like... I didn't even catch that the first time I watched it. I think it was the second time I watched it. And I was like, it's just an amusing little innuendo that they added in. Little things like that. I like episodes that are fun. Because I watch Doctor Who to be happy. I don't watch Doctor Who to be depressed or sad or anything. I watch Doctor Who to be happy and enjoy myself, and it's a fun episode that doesn't get the credit it deserves. With the 12th Doctor, it's tricky because most of the well-regarded episodes, most of the episodes I really love are pretty well-regarded anyway, like Mummy on the Orient Express, Flatline, Heaven Sent, even Before the Flood and Under the Lake, are pretty well-regarded. So I guess I'll go with Time Heist, which I think Time Heist is regarded fairly well, but I actually think it's a little underrated. I think it deserves a little more credit than it gets. Because it's another one like Crimson Horror where it's fun. It's in a different way, but Time Heist is still a lot of fun. It's basically Doctor Who does Ocean's 11. I like the Ocean's 11 movie. They're fun. They're not, deep philosophical thinkers or anything, but they're a lot of fun. They're a roller coaster of a fun ride. And this is like that too, and it does Ocean's 11 better than you would think Doctor Who would do. So it's fun, especially since they don't even know why they're doing it. The whole bit about the worm erasing their memories so they don't know why they're in this situation just adds to it. The guest cast do a fine job. I like the little plot where they're having to avoid the one creature. And then, of course, when they find out at the end who it was that actually called them and set them on this heist in the first place was really nice. The episode is just... It seems like it's polished really well. Like, it's not like sometimes in Doctor Who where you feel like the script needed maybe one or two more revisions. This one seemed like they polished it up and got it out the door. And it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Moving into the 13th Doctor, there's a couple I want to talk about. One is the night of Nikola Tesla, whatever, the Tesla episode. I don't remember the name of it. But, I really like it a lot. It's everything Vincent the Doctor wants to be or should have been. Because I really hate Vincent and the Doctor. Oh, God, I hate that. Wait till we get to my overrated list. I can already tell you what the 11th one's going to be. Because I fucking hate that episode. I don't watch Doctor Who to be depressed. I have real life for that. I watch Doctor Who to be happy. And this one's a lot of fun. I think the guest cast do a really good job. I like the aliens. I like the fact that the actress playing the main villain alien is the same girl that played, I believe, Ronnie on Sarah Jane Adventures. So that's nice. I enjoy that. The guy playing Tesla is great. The guy playing Edison is good. I really enjoy that. And I love the ending when he doesn't take Tesla to the future. She doesn't tell him about the future. And he's still optimistic and happy. He talks about them, let them have the present, I'll look to the future, and the future is mine. I love that bit when he's like, and the future is mine, and he walks off with a smile on his face, even though, his life doesn't end well, and he does kind of die in poverty. Just that optimism as he walks away. I love that. That's the way to end an episode like that. And it's the reason why I love it so much more than I do Vincent and the Doctor, and I really do. Tesla, I think the Tesla episode is one of the best episodes of season 12, one of Jodie's best episodes, and I feel like it's overshadowed by Vincent a lot, and people would probably compare the two. So I don't think it gets the attention it deserves. And the other one is The Haunting of Villa... whatever. I can't remember the name of it. But that's a fun episode. I really like the script here. I really like the way it's directed. I think the director does a good job here. I love the fact it takes place at night. Really, that's the perfect setting for that. The camera angles used. Again, the director does a good job with this. I like how they tie it in with Mary Shelley and kind of maybe where she came up with the idea for Frankenstein. The first half of it, trying to figure out what's going on, why the rooms change the way they do. It has a nice mystery to it. And then when you see the figure outside kind of glowing, it's very reminiscent of the episode Army of Ghosts, when the glowing figures that turn out to be Cybermen are walking around. So when it turns out to be the lone Cyberman, there's some continuity there that I like. And I really like the lone Cyberman. I like his design. I like that he's not completely converted and that he has these emotions and that he hates, which we don't learn that till later, but you can see it here. But I just love him. I like the fact he's a new take on the Cybermen, and he actually does a good job of making the Cybermen kind of scary again, briefly, for this episode at least, and maybe the next one, before the series finale craps all over it. But here he's really, really good, and seeing him go toe-to-toe with the Doctor is really nice. And I like seeing the Doctor's resentment towards seeing him, that anger she has, which probably from what happened to Bill. You know, that resentment. The fact that it's not just, the Cybermen again. No, you see that kind of anger toward the Cybermen because of what happened to Bill. The same kind of anger, resentment she has toward the Daleks. And especially like Eccleston and Tennant had toward the Daleks. Because that's still a very fresh wound. Bill's still a pretty fresh wound to her. So the fact that, she mentioned, no, they're not getting anyone else. And even in, the series finale, when she mentions, I shouldn't have brought y'all, I like that. So this really is a good episode. I like that. Because a lot of people don't give Jodie's era any credit. There are some standout episodes in her era, and I think those are two of them that deserve more credit. So this has been basically my list. 10, 11, 12, and 13. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications. Check out my main channel, Prowl1701, PROWL1701, where I talk about all things Star Wars. Also, tell me what you think your most underrated stories for each Doctor are, or your most overrated stories for each Doctor. What do you think of my list? What do you agree with? Whether you disagree with? Anything you want to talk about, let me know down in the comments below. And most importantly, thank you for watching.